Body language, that is soft skill session 2 continues. Professional body language at work. So, what is professional body language and what is it? That's what we are going to see. And at the end of this session, we will be knowing what is the importance of body language at work and personal spaces and social interaction zones, what your gestures say, the do's in body language and the don'ts in body language. So, does it really matter? The body language, is it really important? How important it is? Let us see. So, when it comes to sending the right non-verbal messages in the workplace, your body language does the talking. So, take simple steps to create a positive impression. So, that means, as far as the workplace is concerned, the right non-verbal messages in the workplace, if it is done properly, your body language takes the maximum expression and it also creates a positive gesture and positive note as far as the people with whom you are interacting. And 93% of daily communication is non-verbal. So, it's a vital point to be noted, as whatever may be the communication that is taking place in a day, right from non-official and official things, at least 93% of communication is non-verbal. So, how this non-verbal can be split? So, it is split into three parts. One can say that 55% of communication takes place only in the form of body movements, face, arms, and other aspects, while 38% of communication takes place through voice tone modulation and passes in between. So, even silence is a communication. That is what here it's trying to convey. And only 7% of communication takes place in the form of words. So, we need to understand, so to what extent words play a role as far as individuals are concerned in a daily life. And this analysis or study has been taken place, has been taken only from the common public and how they are using communication in their daily life, whether it is adults or people of middle age or even above. So, only from this sector the daily communication should have been taken, as that is the one which will give you a better picture when compared to the entire population. And the zone, the intimate zone, the physical contact zone or safe zone or personal zone and social zone has been split into three parts. And if it is an intimate zone or physical contact zone, a distance of 0.5 meters to be followed, so that it gives a good understanding or rapport. Same way, if it is a safe zone or a personal zone, it will be at least 1 meter more than an intimate zone. So, the distance that can be maintained as far as a safe zone or a personal zone can be from 0.5 meter to 1.5 meter, and as far as a social zone, it should be over 1.5 meter. So, in the current scenario, what we are addressing or what we are trying to do is maintaining a social distance of 1.5 meter, whether we know the people or we do not know the people. So, one way or other, for betterment of health and betterment of social understanding, we are trying to maintain a minimum distance of 1.5 meter, and which is advisable and has to be followed strictly, so that we don't get into any problem. Normally, the intimate zone is with the children and their parents or within the family. So, the intimate zone could be only within the family, and personal mostly with friends. And Social may be within the office or outside the office, even though you know the people, and it includes the public place where a huge gathering is possible, and how it can be distinguished. So, an individual to the distancing maintained can be with intimate partners or core family. 0 to 18 inches can be the distance maintained, and in case of personal friends or extended family, 18 inches to 4 feet can be maintained. And as far as social gathering is concerned, that is colleagues or acquaintances, around 4 to 10 feet of distance can be maintained. And if it is public, passerby, a stranger, a minimum of 10 plus feet can be maintained as far as body language is concerned. So this is acceptable and the norms that can be followed in the scenario. So what could be the conversation distance that can be maintained? So between a male and female can be 46 centimeter for positive approach, and less than 46 centimeters conveys a negative approach. So this is the conversation distance that has to be maintained between a male and female. And greeting each other, positive approach is always with a good dress attire and trying to shake hands within a short space or gap. And negative approach is trying to maintain a distance or stretching the hand too much and trying to shake hands. It's a negative approach as far as greeting each other is concerned. So when a person is trying to say, I'm so happy, and the other person can think that I don't believe him because of that distance that is being maintained. So body language can say a lot by actions rather than words. And even in handshake, a lazy handshake or a handshake with a relaxed hand shows it's a dead fish handshake. So normally this sort of handshakes is trying to say that your body language, your eyes, your energy will come through to your audience before you even start speaking. So whether you are interested in meeting the other person or not, so that can be seen from the handshake one is trying to carry out. Next, straight arm extension handshake. So this is one thing. So what you speak, so cannot hear what you say, but the way you handshake can clearly provide a positive note, the way the hand is shaken, and it conveys more meaning. Hand to chin and cheek, so it is the indifference or boredom gesture. So whether it is in a meeting or in a gathering where the hand is to the chin or the cheek, it creates an indifference or it creates an image that it is conveyed as a boredom gesture. So what could be gesture of interest in that case? A gesture of interest is, though it is kept, but with the folded fingers and the eyes staring at the speaker or the person who is speaking. So that shows the gesture of interest. And folded arms, though it may be treated as a matter of respect, but more elaborate, it's a mean of communication that we communicate less. And crossing at the knee, the times to stop talking is when the other person nods his head affirmatively but saying nothing. And ankle to ankle leg cross, when the eyes say one thing and the tongue another, the practiced manner is on the language of the fast. Arm crossed and folded together across the chest as an attempt to put a barrier between the person and someone or something they don't like. The arms crossed on chest gesture is universal and is decoded with the same defensive or negative meaning almost everywhere. Whether you are crossing your arms as a protective shield or opening them as a sign of welcome, the way your position your arms tells an insightful observer how you are feeling. Certain postures elicit certain moods. Crossed arms hold your feelings in and keep others people out. They show that you have set up roadblocks beyond which no person dares travel. Stay with this position for too long and you find yourself feeling shut off and negative. Unless, of course, you are cold, in which case, holding your arms across your chest, keeping the warmth in and the cold out makes perfect sense. As for contact, touching can be a great restorative as long as you know who, when, where, and how to do it. Get touching right, and the person you touch feels engaged and connected. Get it wrong, and prepare yourself for a dressing down. The arms crossed gesture can evolve and develop more nuanced forms during our adult years to become less obvious to others. By folding one or both arms across the chest, a barrier is formed that is an unconscious attempt to circumstances. The arms fold neatly across the heart and lungs regions to protect these vital organs from being injured. So it's likely that arm crossing is inborn. Even monkeys and chimps also do it to protect themselves from a frontal attack. One thing is certain, when a person has a nervous, negative or defensive attitude, it's very likely he will fold his arms firmly on his chest, showing that he feels threatened. Research conducted into the arms crossed gesture showed interesting results. A group of volunteers was asked to attend a series of lectures and each student was instructed to keep his legs uncrossed, arms unfolded, and to take a casual, relaxed sitting position. At the end of the lecture, each student was tested on his retention and knowledge of the subject matter, and his attitude towards the lecture was tracked. A second group of volunteers was put through the same process, but these volunteers was put through the process by instructing to keep their arms tightly folded across their chest throughout the lecture. The results showed that the group with the folded arms had learned and retained 40% less than the group who kept its arms unfolded. So the second group also had a more critical opinion of the lectures with a reduced perceived credibility of the lecture. This type of test was conducted years ago with 1,500 seminar attendees during a number of different lectures and produced almost identical results. These tests revealed that when a listener folds his arms, not only does he have more negative thoughts about the speaker, but he is also paying less attention to what is being said.